What's up, and welcome to another exciting adventure of the Ride the Rebellion podcast. I'm your host, Drew, and with me today is the reigning, defending. We got to have another race to defend this shit. King of the South Alabama Turndown, the executive vice president at Dale Boyd Schwartz Management.
Who's the president?
Casey.
Casey can be
Casey's
the
the president of Schwartz Management.
She's the president and holds all the other board seats because they're very boring.
Boarding.
Boring.
Today on the show, we are
Full of man jokes, dad jokes. Not man jokes, dad jokes. Even worse.
We have this thing over here, so neither one of us is doing a good job looking at the camera.
Because it's hard.
We keep. That's what she said. We keep looking at ourselves over here. Anyway, we're excited. We have another Chase with us today, and we're going to hang out with. What's Chase's last name? Should have done the research before we started the show.
Chase Garrard.
I know.
Chase Garrard. That was on purpose. I'm sorry. The delay was on purpose.
Anyway, so we have Chase Garrard with us. He has lots of big things going on, lots of stuff. Justina, actually, friend of the show, and Carrie, friend of the show, both raced in a race that he put on that was part of a charity drive. I don't exactly know all the metrics on that.
We will find out.
Yeah, we'll ask about it. And then also is part of Coldwater Fat Tire Fest, which Dale Boyd of Dale Boyd Schwartz Management has been to.
I went last year.
Yep, and it was a good time. We
it
had a
was
whole
a
podcast about it.
Yeah, we did. It was really cool. So he's going to bring us some more information about that. It's coming up really soon. And I know that Philip Darden, past guest.
He passed gas while he was here. That is absolutely
he was a
fact.
past
Yeah,
guest.
He was a passer.
He will be there because they have the Sorba Fall Summit there this time too. So
in Andalusia. That's not correct.
Andalusia. Anniston.
Don't go to Andalusia.
Damn, we are not on the.
No, wait. Maybe it is Andalusia.
No, it's in Anniston. Andalusia is not where it's at. The only thing I remember about Andalusia is we were going to Enterprise for a baseball tournament, and they had one of those circus tents set up for the side of the street preacher things.
Revival.
Yeah, they were probably doing some snake calling.
No, it might have been. Andalusia is an interesting area. They have a lot of mud holes there. They do a lot of mudding.
Is that an Urban Dictionary word?
That's stump training.
I don't know what that is either because I'm married to a stump. Literally,
Okay,
maiden name stump.
You know, I said that. I think I know what stump training means, but if it's just beyond anything overly sexist, if it's definitely, I don't care about it as sexist. If it's racist, I apologize in advance. I don't think it's. I think it's where
Andalusia though.
you put an animal on a stump and then you just do some business.
Ew, that's creepy. All right. Well, whatever.
I'm not saying that's what Andalusia is a delightful place. I've been there a few times.
Yeah. Is that the beginning of the Bull Weevil area?
I don't know, actually. I don't know.
I know that's like the Wiregrass area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dothan, maybe.
You know who
Andalusia
knows?
might be
The
on
Gold
there.
Chain Mafia guys know.
Oh, yeah. The Gold Chain Mafia and Eddie Peterson. He'll know.
They'll
We'll
totally
have him
know.
on soon. He'll know
Yes.
for sure. We'll get a whole Wiregrass area recap.
All right, it'll be a delightful thing. Speaking of stump training, if you need to get in shape, there's nowhere better to get your stump trained.
What? Derailed.
Than at Kevin Black. I'm just kidding. Than at Run and Try.
Yeah, I think it's a great place to start stump training. If you're stump training, that means you're going to run for an election.
That's correct. If you guys don't know, the game now is just a riff on if one of us to. I'm controlling the camera, so
Yeah,
but it is a little game
up.
between the two of us to see who can tee up the other one into the
I'm
most
just
awkward
sitting
situation to talk about sponsorships. We did do a shoe giveaway that went so well.
Went very well.
It happened almost too quickly. There was not much contest because Samuel L. Jackson,
Not Samuel Adams, even better of a name.
former President Samuel Adams, won himself a pair of brand new shoes.
Yeah, he got Hoka's.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Good for him.
And picked his wife up a pair of shoes while he was there as well. So,
And
pretty
that's
sweet.
what we call a successful case study, folks.
We have at least one listener, Samuel. Thank you. So congratulations on your shoes. And next up, if you really want, you can show up at Man of War Tattoo this Saturday where walk-ins are welcome. $100 minimum.
I don't even know.
That's true.
Is that really true?
Yeah, I saw. That's really true. This
Okay,
Saturday.
I was about to be
this
like,
Saturday.
we have just screwed poor Kevin Black over so bad.
Nope. It's walk-ins only. Saturday. This Saturday, the 14th, and $100 minimum, and it's one setting only. So you can't get a whole sleeve started. You got to get a tattoo finished that day.
Oh, that's cool, though.
Yeah, pretty cool. $100 minimum.
Kevin needs a new bike, folks. Please head over to Man of War Tattoo for.
Actually,
that's
a sweet way to get into dudes that are booked constantly.
Yeah,
like
for
you
sure.
can't get into Kevin for months, but if you want something,
But even
small,
the rest of his team, like Paul and the rest of those guys,
right.
they're all like really stupid good at what they do.
Yeah.
And their sleeve work is, it's ridiculous.
yeah, you could really go to war with it. Probably with a man. See, dad joke.
I don't even know.
Well, that's the end of our sponsors because we get fired. From
Yeah,
sponsors.
I mean, we have another sponsor, but we can't talk about them yet. They're just not quite. We haven't really summed it up yet.
No, but one time our skills will take us to the summit, and when they get there, maybe we'll release some more information.
I like how
It's like
the bar is.
It's like
no, it's covering it. It's like just barely covered. Those of you listening, Dale is wearing a green T-shirt that happens to have a person riding a chainsaw blade. I mean,
hey,
I'm just kidding.
but for real, I ventured west this weekend.
Yeah,
and
talk
had a
about
blast.
that. Yeah, talk
Yeah,
about
so-
you and Pooh went to.
Yeah, we went to Bug Chitto, and they had their. Was it the Roller Coaster of Love? We went last year. You weren't there to defend your title, but
Oh, it's right here.
yeah,
I like to put it right by Dale so he has to
see it all the time.
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
you-
go ahead and put it in the frame right here.
Yeah, there you go. He wasn't there to defend his title, but Jakey Poo decided he was going to, and I did not want to race, so I just pulled some race support for him and rode around and passed out water and granola bars when he needed them and moral support. But I told Drew and some other guys this. It was one of the most fun times I've had on a bike since Bump and Grind, at least. Like, it was just all. We were there for 12 hours. We got there at 8:30. We left at 8:30, and it was just jam packed. Like, I don't remember sitting down for very long. Like, there's so much fun that happened, and we got to meet the trio behind bars. These little kids that just rip, and they really are.
Yeah,
good
and I
from
mean, there's
Florida.
footage of that. Like,
Yeah, I posted all the videos. It's really, really cool what they do, and we got to know some of the Bug Chitto people a little bit better, which was really rad. So it was awesome. Basically, what I'm telling you to do is get off your ass and go do something in mountain bike community. There's something literally every weekend to do.
yeah, no, it's
Even
cool.
if you're not racing, just show up.
One of the things that I thought was fantastic, and I didn't get to talk to him very long about it. If you guys have gotten to meet Jakey Poo in the wild, he's just such a random guy. Like, some moments he's just very mellow and just very serious, and then other moments he's just bonkers. But he bent his chain ring, and I was like, dude, I heard you had a great time on your push bike, and he was like, well, I mean, it was what it was, but it's a pretty big feat. Could you recap that for us?
Yeah, so there's like a jump area. Bug Chitto has a dirt jump area where they have some big, wooden kicker ramps. Well, they had a transition lip to it, and Jake wanted to hit it so bad, and he had no chain, so he's just rolling in and rolling in and rolling in. I was like, dude, just let me push you. Like, please just let me push you. You're going to do it. So, of course, I pushed him. But I get up on the hill. There's like a start hill, and I'm up there, and I was like tapping him on the bottom of his seat with my hand down there. I was like, hey, feel that, daddy? And he was like, please stop. And then I just did the cool runnings. Feel the rhythm. Feel the ride. Step on up. It's bobsled time. I pushed him down the hill, and he hit it on the very first try with no chain. Hit the big kicker, and then hit the biggest wooden kicker at the bottom. It was awesome. It's just one of those things, like, you can't replicate it.
Yeah, and that's what I think that's, like, we can say go have a good time, but like stories like that, we still laugh about stuff from Bump and Grind we weren't even on the mountain.
Yeah. No.
I mean, there's a sequence in a grocery store, a series of events that, like, for us, and I can tell the story, but it won't matter at the end of the day. I think we tried, and it's just not going to convey through. That's the stuff about the mountain biking thing that's really great, is it's all the little moments that go with it. Yes, a great ride means everything. It's fun, but like, I think the stuff that we end up talking about the most at the end of the day, the community
Right.
stuff, is those little moments, like
Right.
the busted chain ring, and now he got a bobsled time. You've got a cool runnings joke.
I mean, there might be a push me. Do you need a push T-shirt coming out?
Oh my god, that'd be great.
That would be good. But the other thing that was really cool, to your guys' credit, listeners' credit, the podcast is popular enough regionally that I got to be a guest judge for the jump contest. So that was really cool.
Rad.
Yeah, there was only 3 of us judging, and that was pretty awesome. Toby asked me to do that.
Yeah.
I was pretty humbled by that. It was pretty cool.
That's good. All right. So with that said, we won't wait any longer. Here is our interview with Chase Garrard. And with us today, as I said earlier, I hate like cutting into interviews, but that's what we have to do. We have Chase Garrard. So let's just tee it up directly. We met through social media, through conversations, and that was primarily from the Shred for Sloan scenarios that you've been putting on.
Correct.
Could you tee that up real quick and let's just talk through that? Because I think it's kind of fascinating. Justina actually raced that race up there.
Yeah. She came up here for the assault. Shred for Sloan is essentially two types of events, really. So the main event is the Shred for Sloan event that we do in January. And basically, we raise money through raffle and T-shirt sales for scholarship fund for all the ACA kids. We give out last year. We were able to give out 2 scholarships, but Sloan was a local kid who raced for the Cheehaw mountain bike team here in Calhoun County. And in 2019, he was on his way home from his girlfriend's house, headed back to his house, and he was shot and killed, just randomly.
Damn. Oh shit!
And
really?
It was a very random thing. And then after all that happened, we decided we wanted to do just a group ride for a memorial type thing. We were just going to hang out at the back of the local bike shop, go ride Coldwater, come back and eat some hot dogs. And after I announced we were going to do the ride, people were like, "Hey, won't y'all make shirts?" I'm like, "All right, we can make shirts." And then his family had set up the scholarship fund. I was like, "Okay, well, we're going to donate to the scholarship fund." Next thing I know, I had about 150 T-shirt orders, and we had about 120 that showed up to this event. So we had to move it from the back to the back of the bike shop over to our NEBA headquarter building, which is in downtown as well. It's this awesome little headquarters. I don't know if y'all have seen it or not, but
I've seen it. It's pretty sweet.
It's a really cool little venue.
Actually.
And so it went from we were going to be 10 or 15 of us to almost 150 the first year. Now we're going on year 5. So we've consistently kept about 150 to 200 people, which is perfect. I don't know if it got any bigger, it'd be a lot. But we've gone
people to help.
Yeah, and we've gone from raising. I think we raised a little over $1,800 the first year to almost $8,000 last year. So it's increasing. It's just every year gotten more and more. And the sponsorships we've been really lucky and gotten a lot of really cool sponsors over the year that send us a lot of good stuff to give away. We give away a wheel set from Atomic Carbon every year. I get John Carish from Cahaba does bike fits. He gives us bike fits, ESI grips. The sponsors we got I'm very lucky that we're able to get all these sponsors. So, and then this year we wanted to do a bike race. So we established the Assault on Sunset Hill, which is a 3-hour, 6-hour at McClellan Trails. And it goes on it sponsors, part of the money goes to Shred for Sloan, and then the other part goes to our 2 local child advocacy centers here in Calhoun County, and then one in Etowah County. So that was a partnership with a previous charity ride, the Stinger Metric out of Glencoe. It was a road ride. It wasn't doing what it had been in the past, so we joined forces with them to do this new race. And so we had 103 registrations in our first year, which is way more than we anticipated for that as well. We were thinking 40 or 50 people, and we had a little over 100. So if you don't mind me asking, like, your community up there obviously rallied in this time of need and that scenario, and it's continued to blossom. And how much of this input of people coming in for either one of these events,
how much of it is just local, and how much of it do you find now that your community is part of like a catchment area? Like you guys are like bringing in people from other areas?
Yeah, so usually it was very localized. A lot of people knew Sloan, so most of the people that came the first year or two were from the Calhoun County, Etowah County area, had raced with him. A lot of them were ACA and NICA parents and stuff like that. And as it's evolved, we're getting, we've had people come from the Birmingham area, Atlanta area. With the race this year, we had people from 4 different states, I believe. We had a guy come all the way from Ohio to race our race.
Holy cow.
So, like, it's steadily kind of growing and growing. And now we're partnering with ACA next year. And so the director of the ACA, he's doing a big ride here in the next couple of weeks where he's doing 1,000 miles to raise money. So half of the money that he makes is going to go towards the scholarship as well too. So it's definitely hit most of the state of Alabama and parts of Florida, parts of Georgia, and apparently Ohio too. So
pretty impressive when you get you draw a community like that. I mean, that's one of those times where, like one of the things we love to talk about is like community growth, because I think mountain biking's fun, but it sure is a lot more fun when I have a couple of people with me riding. Yeah. So, I mean, everybody knows that. Like a solo parking lot beer is kind of depressing.
Yes.
A single beer with a couple of friends in the parking lot is super fun.
It's awesome.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a fascinating thing.
One thing we always talk about with community on here that we've noticed is like the rebellion as itself. Like we always joke like, maybe we can have little rebellions all over. Now, like everybody that where we go has kind of embraced us as a community, like if we come to Coldwater, like we could hook up with you guys, or like we go to Birmingham and we get teased and fun, but it was good. It was worth it. But it's like everywhere we go now, we do have a community. Like we're all mountain bikers, but it's much better to travel and show up in a parking lot where other people that are locals are like, hey, come ride with us. Like we'll show you around.
Yeah, that's the best.
It is the best. It makes the ride so much better because we rode some places where the whole time we're like, are we going the right way?
Yeah.
Like it feels like we're going the wrong way, Yeah. But if you're riding with a local, it's like it changes the whole dynamic of your trip. Yeah. And so like if anything that anyone that's listening and you and your community too, like if you could take away from this, just reach out to somebody before you go ride. The locals they'll show you around. They're proud of what they have, right?
Yeah, especially. Could you talk a little bit about what you got? I mean, your home trails are, pardon the strong language, fucking legendary for the state.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. How did that? Were you there when that all came about? Like,
no. So I'm pretty new. I'm actually pretty new to the mountain bike community. I didn't start riding until I've only been riding about 7 or 8 years. I think Coldwater's been around for about 15 years. But I do ride with most of the people I ride with have been here since the Coldwater was one loop and it wasn't the 42 miles or whatever it is now. So I now feel like part of the OG community just because I'm around all those people.
Right on.
And that's who I ride with on a regular basis. But there was a strong community here and it has been here for a while. And now it's expanded from, we don't have just Coldwater. We have McClellan that also now has, I think 18 miles or close to 18 miles of trails.
I didn't even realize. Was it private trails? Like, was that base owned trails that eventually opened up? Is that
no? They were purposely built originally for NICA. The land developers, the MDA, worked with NICA originally to kind of create this race course to bring NICA races every year. So it started off, we had like 6 or 7 miles as a main NICA loop, and then it's gone into, I think they're in their third phase of building, or just finished up the third phase of building. So
that's pretty sweet. Is Preston building that as well?
He helped. I think he helped build most of it, if not all of it. I know Trail Solutions did a lot of it, or did the design and stuff, I believe, and then Preston did the legwork.
That's
with
sweet.
them.
Yeah, Preston's come down here. Yeah, Preston with Flow Motion. He's come down here and hiked around with us a little bit, and I know Marcus too. I've met Marcus on different races. So
the thing about Preston.
Yeah, right. It's easy to find Marcus.
Yeah,
one of the things I think is interesting about what you guys have up there, and again, I haven't ridden the McClellan stuff. That's exciting for me because that's another ride up that way. Yeah. But I mean, what you guys have is like, you have this Coldwater is just this beautiful place. Most people, at least in the state of Alabama, aside from Dirty Uncle Chase. He won't say this probably, but a lot of people say that that's their favorite trail and trail system. And a lot, I mean, it gets a lot of attention. I think it's fascinating. One of the things that that Dale came back from, I went up and rode it during the peak of summer, which was the stupidest thing ever. Because you get done with Bomb Dog and you're just done with life.
You're done.
You still have to climb for hours.
You still have to climb to get out.
Yeah. And so I rode there, but then Dale comes back up, and it's coming up relatively soon, but Dale goes up there with Kevin Black, and they come back just glowing about Coldwater Fest. And I want you to maybe Fat Tire Fest, whatever you guys call it. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I want you to, like, where did that come from? Because that's like become this big hangout session now too.
So it was started, I think 2015 or 2016 was the first year we did that. And it's it's a 3-day festival. Originally it just kind of started off as group rides and hangouts. And now we got all kinds of different small events that go on throughout the weekend to kind of make it different. So the first couple of years it went off, it was great. COVID hit. We took a big hit the year COVID hit and didn't do it. So now we're kind of trying to build it back up from what it was previously to be something bigger. And the last 2 years it's been great. And so far, in this upcoming one, is looking to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of stuff going on with the locals doing some group rides. Our night ride is probably everybody's favorite.
That was my favorite.
The Friday night ride is so awesome. There's nothing better than seeing 120 lots just kind of scooting up the mountain.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And that was my very first time ever riding at Coldwater.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm going up in the dark, and I'm riding behind Kevin, and he's like, "Dude, we have to get to the front because we don't want to be behind people going down."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." So we went all the way to the top, and we rode Trillium and Hare. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, back down.
Yep.
And man, it was like in the dark, pitch black, and so that whole weekend I never went faster than I did Friday night, according to my Strava. I PR'd.
You get tunnel vision on those trails at night,
and it was dusty. It was so dusty I couldn't see anything. It was insane.
So wild.
It's crazy that
I get a lot of downhill PRs at night because you get that tunnel vision and you just go. So
it's crazy.
It's fun.
It scary.
Night riding's a blast.
Yeah.
So.
It is definitely a different. I mean, it's a different vibe that I tell everybody. Like having ridden just a slice of it, it's some of the most fun I ever had riding. And it was an interesting thing for me because my first ride with it, my favorite place to ride in the area is Chattanooga. Partly because I like the town, because Chattanooga has a lot to do, and my family often goes with me, and they have good food and all that stuff. But I literally rode during that summer peak. I rode Bomb Dog. That's what we probably went for. And so we rode that. My wife and kids hung out, me and my buddy. He departs, and then I go up and I ride Chattanooga and I ride stuff there. But Bomb Dog and the stuff you guys had in Anniston was always in my brain, and it became the comparison for some of the new stuff I rode in Chattanooga, right? I mean, it's so quality and it's so much fun that it became like a benchmark. And I think that's really important, is when you have a trail system that can be that powerful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think everybody. I was confused because everybody talks about Bomb Dog and how it's the best downhill trail in Alabama. I personally think Goldilocks is better. Like Goldilocks to me,
Goldilocks is rowdy.
It is rowdy.
It's rowdy.
I followed somebody from Birmingham on it because I had never ridden it, and he said, "Listen, just stay on my tire and you'll be all right." Mm-hmm. Well, Kevin was behind me. He had raced it before. And I was like, "Kevin, is he leading me to somewhere stray? Like, am I going to die?" And he's like, "I don't know. He's pretty good. Like, just stay on his tire." And luckily, I've ridden pretty hard. And we rode so hard that when he finally put his seat post up, like, I knew that was over. Like, it was the first time I breathed. And my heart was beating like 180 beats per minute. We were going so fast. But had I not followed him, I would have died. Like, there's a couple spots where there's, like, rock hips that you could launch and die if you don't know.
It'll sneak up on you.
Yeah, it's such a rowdy trail. And then riding that and jumping on the climb all the way back up to do Rock Slot and Bomb Dog was like, man, what are we doing? It's crazy.
Yeah, Bomb Dog, you get a nice long descent with a climb in between and another long descent. Goldilocks is just pure, just ready to rumble, just get through this as fast as you can. and
Yeah.
it's rowdy. You got to watch out for those little doll head rocks that are scattered throughout too.
Yeah, and you have to carry your speed because if not, you'll wreck because of the rocks that you're talking
Yep.
about. Those things will just roll you out.
They sure will.
It's nuts. I liked it.
Yeah.
So with the fest, like some of the stuff that I always thought was interesting that Dale talked about, and if you elaborate on it, but I mean it's into the town a little bit too, is it not?
So yeah, we do. We currently we don't have any camping close to like at Coldwater. That's hopefully going to change over soon. But yeah, we do. We have our camping and kind of main hub in downtown Anniston, which is it's less than 2 miles from the trailhead. So it's a very easy ride to the trailhead. But we do all of our camping in kind of a main hub there. But during the day. During the day, we also have the campground that's being built at Coldwater. It's a smaller area, Coldwater Camping Cabin that they're still in the process of getting it built up, but that's where we do a lot of our daytime fun stuff at. So it's a really cool area. He's got some cabins coming up. He's recently put in power and water, so it's gonna be a major asset when it's complete. But yeah, we do a lot downtown, which is kind of strange. We're in the middle of a city park. In the middle of downtown Anniston. It's you wouldn't expect that, but man, it's fun. And then we have the headquarters as well. We're going to do a movie, pizza, and beer at the headquarters this year.
Awesome.
So normally we do our dinners at the park, but we got this cool headquarters we can hang out too. So we're gonna do some stuff at the headquarters this year. That's mainly after the night ride. We'll do our night ride, and then everybody come back to the headquarters, watch a bike movie, eat some pizza, and drink some beer from. I think the beer's from Black Warrior Brewing.
Oh, that's super rad.
So, but the night ride again. The night ride's the highlight. So
It really is. That if you only have one day to go Friday night.
Friday night.
Yeah, it's definitely worth every second.
And we're actually going to do a group ride in McClellan before the night ride too. We'll have a small little group at like 3:00 on Friday, show them around McClellan because some people that come have never even ridden McClellan. So we're like, we're going to show you that. So we'll usually have 15, 20 people ride that, and then we'll come back and we'll do the night ride too.
That's pretty rad because last year we just hung out at the park all day waiting for the night ride.
Yeah.
It was like
yeah.
we got our tent set up and kind of hung out till the night ride.
Yeah, everybody needs to come out to McClellan and ride with us there too. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's a fun little ride, and like I said, we have a couple that there's a couple of us that are going to ride from McClellan back to the park.
Oh wow, how far is that?
And it's 5 or 6 miles, but it's
okay, that's not bad.
It's mostly road, and it's not bad. It's a fun little ride, and then you just ride into the night ride from that, and make it one big ride.
Nice.
That's great. I mean, that's the good stuff on that side. So, what are the dates for all that, and where can people go to sign up on that side of things?
All right. So the dates are it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, October 20th, 21st, and 22nd. You can sign up through our website. It's www.cwmfattirefest.com. Or if you go to our Facebook page, Coldwater Mountain Fat Tire Fest, there's a link there also. It's a link. It's a hard to say website, but everything's on our socials: Facebook, the NEBA Facebook, the Fat Tire Fest Facebook, and Instagram.
No, good deal. I'll make sure to put it in the show notes as well. So now let me ask you some of this stuff. So you said you're relatively new to mountain biking. We were talking a little bit off camera earlier. We don't have to go into that side of your other hobby, but what got you into mountain biking then? Because you're like me. I mean, I rode years ago, and I've talked about it. I rode when I was, I rode a lot growing up, but got heavy into mountain biking, 18, 19, and then when I was 20, had a really bad wreck that I just couldn't get over, and I just lost interest, and then came back at 40, I don't know, somewhere in there.
49 or 40.
How about 40? Fuck you. But I came back in. So what drew you to why'd you land in 7 years now? What?
So when me and my wife first met, her brother was racing NICA. So we had gone to a couple of his races when we were kind of really getting our relationship going. And I was like, man, this looks cool. And I ran cross country in high school. I was a runner for a long time, and I had kind of gotten out of it. But I was like, man, I could really get into this mountain biking. So we went. He took us one day to Coldwater. We went and rented bikes, and he took us to Coldwater. And he's like, "We're just going to do this little loop." Well, 10 miles later, we had done.
For your
we had
first
done
time?
yeah, our first time. We had done Mama Bear, so Baby Bear, Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and he's like, "We're almost done." So we went up Cassidy, and down Goldilocks and back on our first ride ever.
Woo.
I think I walked probably 70% of it.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks later, me and my wife were both buying bikes, and we've been both riding ever since. Because then we fell in with the community, and the community kept it. I mean, we have our weekly group rides that everybody comes up to, and since then I've been hooked.
I think it's fascinating, man. It's so interesting that the more time we spend hanging out with people, chatting, whether it's on the show or out in the real world,
In the wild.
in the wild, yeah. I mean, it comes back to the same thing. I think all of us rode for some reason. There's some little adrenaline hit that we all get from it, but then we ride. But what keeps us is then like keeps it motivating is those group rides, like Nixon said so eloquently. The Fat Tire Fests, the Shred for Sloan events in your neck of the woods, or Bump in Birmingham, or I'm sure there's one all the way up in Huntsville.
Hammer.
Hammer,
Yeah.
like all these different little. I just think it's fascinating that it's the communities that keep everybody coming back. And we sound like broken records, but I think sometimes that gets lost, certainly on Reddit, if you ever could read that trash pile, or even Chattanooga. I saw them flaming some guy about Walden Creek stuff. I think sometimes it gets lost and people lose the idea of the community side of things. And it's like, look, man, we could all have a place in the community to do what we want to do. And that's what makes it even more fun.
Yep.
Do you feel like over 7 years that you've seen, has your chapter, have you guys seen growth up there? Like obviously COVID sounds like it hurt the festival side, but did you see a surge of people? Like what's happened over the 7 years that is like kind of stands out to you? Because obviously you're passionate enough to do crazy shit and put on all these events.
So, even through COVID, we had a strong community, and our club, NEBA, is kind of different than most other community as far as bike clubs go, because ours is a mountain biking and road biking club. So we have two sides of it. We have a really strong road biking community here, and we have a really strong mountain bike community here. And we have a really strong gravel community now too, because we have the Talladega National Forest just right on the other side of the area. So we have the three main kind of cycling groups in our area that are very much thriving. We try to join with these other groups too, and I think all these groups are doing good. I think all these clubs are getting better and better, and I feel like we're growing too. But again, we have those three different kind of aspects to our group. That's not just mountain biking.
Yeah, I think that's pretty unique about that area, especially because I don't even know if there's an organized road biking community here.
I don't even know what they fall under.
They fall under cars, usually.
Jesus. What an awkward. Oh, well, I'm going to clip that one for social media because Chase's response was gold. That'll just be the terrible one that gets everybody to watch this video.
That's a YouTube short right there.
Yeah, 100%.
So, you know what's funny about it is, though, like guys like all three of us especially, and then Nixon, we love the sport, so we try to host events and like do things to get other people out to see like, hey, this is badass. Come see what it's like. And even if you don't have a bike or don't even know what it means, just come hang out and realize like, hey, there is some weird dudes that hang out in the woods, and it's like kind of fun, you know?
Yeah,
We're like a subculture. When I tell people we mountain bike, they're like, wait, what? In Mobile? Like,
you ain't got no mountains.
yeah, right. We got no mountains, and you guys pay what for your bikes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
You pay
gets
what for your
everybody.
boat?
Yeah.
Right.
As soon as you tell them
Yeah.
about the price of your bike, they're like, "Wait, what? Really?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the support like up there? Do you guys have good like a good LBS scene, like as far as like local bike shops? Or
we have some good bike shops up this way. We got Wiggs Wheels in downtown Anniston, who is he's right there in the kind of the middle of everything. And then we have Fun Wheels. It's over in the Oxford area. That both bike shops are really good, really big. They carry several different brands, and so we got a good community around both of our local bike shops. And there's just down the road in Gadsden, there's a couple of bike shops there because there's trails in Gadsden. So like, we're very lucky in our area. As a
Yeah,
bike
you guys
club.
do have you have a tremendous amount of it. I mean, have you found? Is there anything that stands out to you? Again, like, you know, you and I are. You got 3 years on me in terms of riding time, and Dale's somewhere in that range.
I'm less. I'm only like 4 or 5. I've
that
been
it?
riding for 5 years. Yeah.
Okay,
Learning curve is high.
yeah, learning curve is steep. Haha, puns intended. To reach that summit.
To reach the summit.
Oh Jesus. I just was curious to see, like, is there stuff that you've seen? Have you seen a progression? Because you guys actually have, you know, we're on trails except for what we've built. You guys have like Goldilocks. You guys have aggressive trail ride. Have you seen, like, as technology's changed? Have you seen this cycle happen where one person gets a bike and you see them start to ride a little bit better? Maybe it's technology, maybe it's just bravado, maybe it's confidence. And then next thing you know, you start to see a frenzy of other people. Is that happening up in your community?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And again, we have all these kids in this area that are the ACA kids that, you know, a couple of years ago had never ridden mountain bike trails, and now they're hitting these big gaps and all this stuff, and at Rod Beham and these big drops, and I'm looking over there like, I'm too old for that. First of all, I'm just going to sit back here and drink my beer. But no, but people, they'll come in their first ride and they'll be riding, you know, just a hardtail or something. And a couple months later, after they've been riding, they get their first full suspension, and they're out riding me within a couple of months because I'm a very timid rider to begin with. But yeah, you see that evolution a lot, especially in this area, because we do have we have some tech and some chunk.
Yeah, I mean, it's super unique. You guys also had, if it's still there, I remember when and this is like 2 years ago, you guys had like a somewhat of a jump line. Is that accurate?
We have 2 flow trails.
Sorry.
Yeah, we have 2 flow trails that come off the upper trailhead. They're kind of, they'll be really good for a couple of months. We'll go and work on them. Then they don't get ridden because we don't have regular shuttles that we run on them because they're not fun to climb. They go down.
Oh
the
no, I
of the
did
hill.
it.
They're not
I did
fun.
it. It's
Yeah,
awful.
It's
awful.
terrible. But here recently, they've been kind of revived. Some of the NICA kids around here, man, they've been out there building. They're wanting to work on them, so they've been out there moving dirt and raking and cleaning berms, and apparently they're in really good shape right now. I've got to go check them out.
They're fun.
That's
Did you get to
nice.
ride those?
I didn't. I opted to not because we rode from Anniston over to the upper trailhead.
The upper trailhead.
Yeah, and then we rode all of that. We rode, you know, Goldilocks, and then back up, rode Bomb Dog, and then instead of going down, was it Chillowy that goes all the way across? So we rode that all the way across back over to Trillium and Hare, and it was just like I'm done. Like I wasn't going down that hill. I was not going to go down that hill and climb back up.
Yeah, that climb is not fun.
No.
I've attempted on a single speed once, and I'll never try that again either.
Holy smokes!
Just driving up it is steep.
Yeah. My Subaru loves it.
I when I rode it with Todd,
Yeah.
Todd Hall, and he has an e-bike, and he had I don't remember what happened. I think some we were shuttling, and we had a system to use his e-bike as like part of the shuttle trick, and we were doing all this. He was like, you can take my e-bike up the hill, and it's a fancy S-Works Levo Turbo, whatever. It's a super expensive bike, and I put it in Super Boost or whatever the hell it is. And I'm still climbing that hill, and I am just murdered. Well, we get up there, and something happened. I don't remember exactly how it happened. Something somewhere, we left the keys somewhere.
Oh no.
So I ride down there, and I'd hit the bottom, and then Todd calls me and is like, hey, the keys are, I don't remember what it was. But then I had to climb it on my analog, my Amish bike.
gosh.
So I had the juxtaposition of an e-bike, which wasn't easy, then suddenly to the Amish bike, and it was just like one of those, like, it's one of those fuck my lives. I got to the top, and I was like, I just hate everything right now. This is brutal.
No, didn't you buy an e-bike like a week later?
I exactly did. That's exactly what got me to buy an e-bike. So Trek Chattanooga owes you guys a little check down
All
there.
right, I like to hear that.
Yeah, I was pissed, man. I was like, I'm going to be gassed, and I got to go ride like 5 more days, and it was like a big trip for me. It was one of those ones. So your wife still rides? She still rides with you guys?
She rides. I mean, she probably has the nicer bike in the house currently. So she rides quite a bit when she can. We're both nurses, so schedule kind of gets in the way sometimes, but
Absolutely.
we try to get out there as much as we can. So
Yeah, what's so obviously one of the questions that's interesting right now in groups, what's the ratio? Is it still a giant sausage party, or have you guys been able to like at least get some friends to show up?
We have a decent women's community right now, and it's growing. We have several that will join us on our Monday night Gears and Beers ride, and recently some of the local ladies have started up a morning group ride where they're going out. They're going out, I think, Thursday mornings or something like that, and doing a ladies ride. And then we try to do at least once a year. Try to do a big ladies ride where all the men come out and support the women and cook for them and all that good stuff too. So I think our ladies community is pretty strong right now. So it's cool to see. It's cool to see.
Yeah,
and some of them are strong. They're strong.
Yeah, it's they have that. I pushed out a baby and I can pedal harder than you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like I can endure pain where you guys will give up.
I also think ladies will put me in the dirt all the time. They're flying. So
yeah, and some of it I think I always laugh at like the fact that a lot of times our egos get such in the way that like you're more worried about how you look riding your bike than actually just riding the damn thing correctly. And it's one of those turnarounds that gets it.
I literally am not going to ride unless I look good. Like there's no way.
You got it's the Power Ranger effect, man. You got to be all geared up.
That's right.
Oh, dude, that might be a shirt idea. That might be a great little shirt idea.
When I coached basketball, I used to tell my players like, "You look good, you play good. You look
good, play good, ride good. Yep.
That's
look
right.
good, play good, ride good."
Yeah, so what do you guys ride up there? What's the primary? What's your ride? What do you ride on?
So I'm one of those weirdos that will do single speed or a 150 mil travel trail bike. So it depends. I ride my single speed most time, but up here, the best bang for your buck is going to be a 140 to 150 mil travel. 29.
You need it. You actually legit need it up there. It's not like
it's
a lot of these spots.
I think 140 is really perfect, but the little 150 on some of the stuff is really really nice. Now McClellan's a different story. That's a cross country like mecca. So nothing greater than 110, 120 up there, and you're perfect. But again, I'm a weirdo sometimes, so I got the single speed out there, single speed hardtail and 100 mil travel.
The old fixie. Getting that fixie and doing work, son.
But yeah, I do enjoy my full squish 140, and I think that's kind of what you see up here is the kind of the trail all mountain bike.
I think what's good about that for the Anniston trailhead is like that climb. You're not sprinting it anyways, so whatever you have, you just want it to climb competently, and not be too hard.
Yeah, you don't want too much. You don't want too much just crazy bounce. Just kind of just slow go and put it in a granny gear and go.
Yeah, and I think actually some of the ladies from your group might have yelled at us on the climb on Cassidy because we came off of Goldilocks and we just took our helmets off and hung them on our handlebars and we're just pedaling up Cassidy. And she's like, "You guys need your helmets on." We're like, "No, we're barely moving. If we just didn't die what we were just doing, we'll be okay here."
We'll be all right.
But I was with Dirty Uncle Chase, so he kind of makes his own rules usually.
Yeah, he does what he wants, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, that's what. It's so funny to me because his little reputation, and I talk to him, once or twice a month, but his reputation of being Dirty Uncle Chase is just like everyone. You can say that, and people are like, yeah, that's him. They know.
Yeah, it's
like they know exactly what it is.
Yeah, we hung out with them. We hung out with them recently at Oak Mountain. We had a NEBA group go down there and ride with them, and they showed us around. And he led the group, and he put a hurting on everybody.
That's what he does.
That's his favorite. That's his favorite game.
He was on an XC bike, and he drove. I think he ended up with like 30 miles that day, and he put a hurting on most of us.
Oh, his ego just got real big. He's listening to this.
Well, no, he really just wants what he really wants is this Chase just justified the other Dirty Uncle Chase's XC bike purchase. He just needed that justification, and he's going to go to Amber and be like, "See, it's approved."
No, so he told me yesterday that he's not going to cook grilled cheeses this year at Skyway because he's doing it.
Oh, good for him.
That's a tough ride, man.
I've done it twice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. I've done it twice as well, and man, they put on a good little event over there.
Yeah, I love it. That's why I did. That's why we did the Bulls Gap thing this year, just because it's such an event. The event's so
Yeah.
cool. So
They're
it's just cool
awesome.
to be a part of.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I couldn't make it out there this year, but I may. You may see me out there next year. I got a love hate with Skyway.
It's easy to love hate it.
Yeah,
you
it absolutely
you
is.
hate it while you're doing it, and you love it after it's over.
Yep.
It's pretty simple.
Yep, exactly.
But one other thing about Fat Tire Fest, Sorba's going to be there, right?
Yeah. So Sorba has their annual meeting. The Sorba Summit is taking place that weekend too. So yeah, there'll be a lot of the heads of all the clubs in the area in Sorba that are going to be down there. I think we're expecting like 40 or so people from them to be down there. So.
Yeah, you should get a pretty good crowd.
And so interestingly enough, I think if ever there was a case for somebody to maybe consider going, this is a year to go, just because it's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of representation in terms of different groups. And
Right.
I mean, I think it sounds like obviously that puts you guys in the spotlight, which just elevates that even further. I think it's
Right.
a pretty solid year. Hopefully that you get a good turnout.
We got a lot of fun stuff planned. Rod Beham's bringing their airbag. And they're going to run some contests, jump contests and stuff like that. Coldwater Brew Pub, so we're throwing a big party at Brew Pub with the band on Saturday night. But the group rides, like I said, night ride and regular group rides are always the highlight. But the party on Friday and Saturday nights are always a blast too. And then we have a lot of fun just hanging out Saturday when everybody went out for our Sunday, when everybody went out Saturday night. So Sunday's always kind of just chill.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So is there anything else that, obviously we got that worked in. Is there anything else we need to tie together in terms of just anything you wanted to put out there? I mean, I think like we said, I didn't think I realized until I rode there how much work you guys are doing up there and how great of a location it is. And now that I even know about the McClellan stuff, that's even better. But is there anything, sometimes it has a reputation, but one of the challenges maybe is Anniston. I mean, is there more to Anniston than we realize? I think sometimes I got it right, didn't I? I keep saying Andalusia.
No, Anniston's right. Anniston has its kind of storied past. It's getting better. They're working on bringing our big rails to trails into downtown Anniston. A lot more businesses are kind of coming into the downtown area. I think we're going to see a lot more growth in the next couple of years for the better, especially again with Ladaga coming all the way into downtown Anniston to the train station. You essentially open up a pathway from Anniston to Atlanta.
Wow.
So you can have somebody ride from Atlanta to Anniston, get on the Amtrak, and go back to Atlanta, or vice versa.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's pretty rad.
And
That's a super cool trip.
that's something that's going to be happening over the next couple of years. And then we're working on some trail stuff. We got a new trail that we are working on getting built on the Anniston side that is going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to connect to two trails that aren't normally connected. So I think we're still waiting on approval, but hopefully early spring, maybe late winter, we'll be able to start working on it and getting a new trail built at Coldwater as well. So
Who is the land manager for the trails there?
it's Forever Wild.
Oh, is it? Cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's a Forever Wild, and they have, I don't know how many acres they have up there, but it's a lot, and they just bought a lot more. So
sweet.
we got a lot of land to work with. It's just finding the time to get out there and mark them, build them, and then finding the funds to get them built. That's the big
we're
hurdle.
building trails. We know.
Yeah, we are.
We're building with no tools. So
Yeah.
we get it.
Yeah, luckily Marcus, he works for the city of Anniston. They just recently bought him an excavator, so we got a excavator now that he uses during the week to build
nice.
some stuff. So I think we're gonna have some good stuff in the future for sure.
Sweet.
So it's one of my favorite questions to ask, of anybody we have on the show, which is, where do you see, what's the future for mountain biking? What does it look like to you?
Man, I don't know. I think group rides are huge, and I hope I want group rides to be bigger and bigger every time we do a group ride. But I just want the community aspect to get better and just better. And I hope that's what I'd like to see in the future. If it's going that way, I don't know. It seems to be. I think you have these strong communities that are just helping get stuff done, and I think that's the future of it, is making sure these communities stay together, but all the communities work together, whether it be road cycling, gravel cycling, mountain bikers. Everybody kind of work together to get shit done.
No, I like it. I mean, I that's a great statement because, like, it really is. It's really an interesting model you guys have that has my wheels spinning a little bit. It's a cool idea of mixing all those together and giving you look. You're all unified under the same gear, right? We're all riding. There's not that much difference. So it's a fascinating concept you have. Is there anything else you want to add, Mr. Boyd Management?
No, I think it's good. We got a bunch of information about Fat Tire Fest and stuff like that. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming to hang out. Is there anything you want to close with? Is there any shameless plugs you need to throw out there?
Well, I mean, ShredForSloan.com. That's where you get all the Shred for Sloan information and the socials. It's all at Shred for Sloan. And then, of course, NEBA, at NEBA on Facebook, Instagram. And you can find us on the Coldwater side as well. Shred for Sloan is January 20th. So registration's open for that as well.
Oh, nice. That's coming up. That's coming up pretty soon.
It's getting close.
Yeah, that's good.
So.
Cool.
Well, cool. Well, thank you for hanging out with us, and come down here and ride sometime.
Yeah, I need to get down that way. I don't travel as much as I should when it comes to riding. You kind of get stuck in this area and but yeah,
Well,
I definitely need to get down there.
The thing about it now is we're making a place where people can come to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, before it was like, well, you going to come ride?
Yeah.
Well, you can come down and ride, and then y'all can keep going to the beach.
Yeah,
you
there
can
you
do
go.
something fun with
Yep.
it.
Absolutely.
Especially like as hard as nurses work.
Yep.
Were you nursing? You were still working during the pandemic?
Yeah, I traveled. I did assignments in Washington D.C. and in South Georgia. I was in D.C. in the middle of the when they had the riots and everything. I was up there working, which was crazy.
Holy cow, man!
And then I did a mind-numbing 17 weeks in South Georgia that had no mountain bike trails within 2 hours.
Whew.
Oh, that sucks.
Did a lot of gravel riding though.
That's all right. That's all right. Whatever it is.
I got to ride.
You
I got to ride though.
You got to ride. That's the
Got
big.
to ride.
I mean, look, it's. I know from. I mean, obviously Dale knows better than me from his wife, but just having spent enough time in the healthcare industry as an advertising person and getting to know you guys and the work you put in, it is crazy to me. Like I don't know how y'all don't. Some people don't have a hobby that lets them just go like ride and purge their brain because you guys deal with so much stuff. So I again thank you for contributing, especially during all that chaos. But thank you for I think a lot of times we were happy and we were grateful for healthcare providers during the pandemic, but it needs to keep going, and we need to be
absolutely.
conscious of that in the future. So I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
So big shout out to Chase. I can't thank him enough for taking the time to jump on. Obviously, I didn't know all the stuff with Sloan. That's
pretty hard. That hit hard.
Yeah,
When he said that, I was like, whoa, wait, what?
Yeah, that's tough. I also think it's really interesting what they're doing with NEBA. The fact that like that is a multi-discipline. That is a much better way of like supporting each other than being like, "Hey, fuck you, you're a roadie."
Right. Yeah, their clubhouse is legit too. That he was talking about downtown. It's really, really rad.
That's
like,
awesome.
It's what we would want.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, apparently the soft member gave so many 2x4s we could just build one,
Oh, they're 4x4s, and
4x4s.
we definitely can build some shit with them.
but no walls.
No, we can build walls because Bug took out some plywood, so we're good.
I saw it. I was there.
He's trying to build a tree house.
Yeah, he really wants one.
Oh god, it's a Bug's life.
It is a bug. It is accurate. So if you haven't been to Coldwater, Dale can tell you, and he can attest for how good of a time it is. If you've never ridden Coldwater, I will tell you it's a super good time, and it's a good ride, and it's hard, and it's challenging, and it's fun. And I think it's good enough you can. I mean, there's some stuff that's probably you need to have somebody with you, but I feel like you can ride there and push yourself to a comfortable limit where you may not die.
Maybe.
I really
there's some other hacks to going up there, but if you want to know those hacks, then let me know. Reach out to us because I have some hacks that will save you some mileage of pedaling uphill.
Oh, there we go. Secret hacks. And then the last piece of it being like, if you haven't had a chance, again, his tags for all that stuff. The Coldwater Fest, I don't even fully know what the website was for that one.
I don't know.
As a marketing person, I'm gonna reach out to him and be like, hey, why don't you guys buy this name? It's $11. But then if you go over to shredforsloan.com, the jerseys you have are really pretty cool. The gloves look really cool. He told us off camera he's waiting to get the gloves so he can make sure he likes them. But they seem like really rad. So it looks like he's got a good quality merch on top of it. So buying that goes to help somebody else. I think that's pretty awesome. Also, speaking of buying things, we could always use your help with shameless peddling of money at the Reb. So if you want to send any merch, you can head over to ridetherebellion.com.
Amazon wish list.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need some people to start buying some stuff.
Yeah, buy some merch. Get some merch. Come out. You might get bonus prizes if you buy merch.
Listen, all the money that's made there goes back to our friends somehow or another way.
Yeah.
And we don't make any money.
No. And for anyone asking, yes, the event that we will be partaking of, it's not even an event, the festival.
We have a festival.
It's a festival that we're having. We'll let you know how it goes. I mean, there's nothing I could say. Like it's kept small for a reason. We have to test it. It's
beta tested.
It's beta test. I'm shocked you know what that means. You think it's about fish, don't you? Beta fish.
Oh, dude, actually, that's a whole other game that I've been trying to do since Michael Vick got caught fighting dogs. I wanted to bring a beta fish fighting contest where everybody brings their own beta fish, and you fight them to the death, and whoever's the last one standing wins. Is that not like? That's like the movie Boiler Room level.
Ladies and
of
gentlemen,
money-making.
no, that's like the movie Night Shift with where he says, "Why don't they feed tuna fish mayonnaise so it'd already be?"
Next up on the Crime Junkies podcast, Dale Boyd somehow started a beta fish and ended up a serial killer.
I will not tell it now because I don't have time. But have I told the story about where I got blindfolded and led to a secret cockfighting arena?
That, yeah.
So I've been to a secret cockfighting arena,
and it wasn't dudes.
It definitely wasn't. I mean, it was dudes doing it, just not with cocks. Their cocks, with some cocks.
Well, it might have been their cock, but
yeah, it's got real cockward. Hey, and there's the last dad joke. Just remember what Dale Boyd says.
Don't be cocky. Bring your own cock to the fight.
I don't even know what it means.
I don't either.